Now, as I started touching in the previous video, I want to now talk about something that is absolutely as important, if not more. My dog is here, so maybe we'll see her. It's about traumas and how they work. After a ton of research, mostly of myself, infinite studying, which I keep doing, okay, and releasing a lot of traumas for myself, I can now state pretty confident that I myself, okay, 100% sure that trauma is a very high and intense level of anxiety, which is unprocessed in the depth it occurred in the first place. And we suppress feelings that we felt in the trauma, like the situation itself, doesn't necessarily create trauma. Our response to it, yes, this is what creates the trauma. Okay, so if we have a healthy environment or healthy habits and self-value, okay, and stuff, and self-confidence, then we can go through every situation, horrible as it is. I'm not wishing anyone, I hope everyone is the best, okay, has the best life, but we can go through anything and it won't register as a trauma if it's processed correctly, like within a day, 2 days, a week, something like that, okay? Because trauma is suppressed feelings. Usually it's suppressed negative feelings. I don't use the terms usually as a bad or good, because I truly believe that both of them are crucial to us. Like a battery needs a plus and a minus to operate correctly, right? So both of them are important. Different causes, but they are all serving the same purpose, which is protecting ourselves. This is what I believe. And usually we try to suppress feelings of pain, humiliation, helplessness, shame, guilt, that we don't want to experience because we're afraid. Because we're afraid that if we let ourselves experience the levels of those negative feelings that are held and kept or caged within us, then we won't be able to deal with it and we will die. This is literally probably what happens to our mind. I just don't want to speak about everyone, but it's pretty much what's happening, okay? And it happens like this because usually a trauma, which is not necessarily what you might think, like a lot of people think, I thought it as well, that people who get, abused in, I don't know what's allowed to say, as well, okay, way, then this is the trauma. Not necessarily. I've worked with a lot of people. I had experiences myself, okay, and not all of them register it as a trauma in the subconscious. Why? Because some were able to process it. Usually it starts deeper. It starts when our brain doesn't have the right tools to deal with those kinds of emotions and doesn't have the confidence enough. And it's usually between ages 0, like when we're born, to 6, when we still see our parents as gods. Yes, okay, this is how also narcissism and other personal disorders are created, because it lacks the very, very basic thing that we need, so we can separate those people, can't separate their own self from others, and this is why it causes a distortion. I will elaborate in in future videos. And what I want to say, and this is why we remember it as something, even subconsciously, it's something that we can't deal with, because when it happened, when we were kids, like somewhere between 0 to 6 usually, we really didn't have the tools. It would have literally killed us, God forbid, if we would have dealt with them then. So It's extremely important, okay, to understand it. It's hard, it can be rattling, I hope it's the right word. Crucial. If you're dealing with something like this, first of all, feel free to write me. I will do my best to see what you're dealing with and to give you the best advice I can, okay? Or reference you, or to upload videos in related. I will try to do the best I can. But it's important, and you are not alone, and it's important for me to say, as a side note, you can deal with everything. Almost everything. If you are here and you're watching this video, you are probably much more sane and normal than you think, because you cared enough and were conscious enough to try to look for something that can mirror something to you at some level of consciousness. Remember that, okay? It's hard, but it's possible, very possible, very possible. Again, I will elaborate in future videos. So, when trauma is created and we try to deal with other situations in our lives, even in therapy or something like that, which we think is the initial trauma, it's usually done. It's usually not, because it usually takes us back to our parents. Usually it takes us back to our home. And it's not necessarily that someone did something to us on purpose, but this is where it's created, because it's usually the first interaction to us with the other world, the outer world. So, trauma is a big word, which I don't find that scary at this point in my life, because I understand it's just a situation that we can deal with 99.9% of the time, if not 100. So, something else that is important for me to emphasize about trauma, okay? Once we experience trauma and we connect the intensity of the feeling of the trauma or anxiety to a situation, a usually horrible situation that occurred, our mind, because it searches for certainty, as I explained in the previous video, while we are in anxiety, will rather sometimes to pull us toward another situation that will cause us the same feeling that we felt in the same intensity level that we feel inside, that happened when the trauma was initiated, because it gives it certainty. It gives our brain certainty. Even for a moment, it's a relief. Okay? I know it sounds horrible, it sounds crazy, but it is. This is what it is. Our mind, because of its difficulty to deal with the unknown and uncertainty, will rather subconsciously to pull us back to another trauma potential situation, horrible as we experienced already, just to get a sense of relief, because it doesn't know how to deal with it. This is why I say, just go deal with it. Not on one time, do something for yourself, please. It's hard, it's painful, I won't lie to you. It's worth it. Every penny, every piece of energy, every feeling, every pain, in your own rhythm, just go do it and help yourselves, please. Please, I can't stress it enough. Life-changing, I can't stress it enough. By the way, eventually I helped myself. I've been through a lot of therapy and stuff. Eventually, I cracked my code. I'm very proud of myself about it, okay? But now I want to help others do it even better, even more effective. This is why I say, there is no such thing as the right time. Our subconscious, our consciousness will try to make us avoid it, because it will think it's too painful, because it's the last conscious memory it remembers. Doesn't matter. You are mature. You have the tools, or the ability to get the tools to deal with it. Do it, please. Please. So, it's extremely important to understand it and to remember. If you see, okay, there's the camera. If you see that you are pulling into the same loops, the same patterns, the same people, the same situations that cause you tremendous harm, and you know when it started, and you know what it reminds you of, especially if it's a trauma that was very obvious or you interpret it as a trauma, just know you have something unresolved in you. Once you break that loop, this is why I say get out of the loop all the time, because this is the way to do it. Most people won't understand you. Most people will think that you are over-exaggerating or under-exaggerating, because all of us has some sort of trauma, some sort of anxiety. And most people don't have the courage, which is okay, it's their choice to deal with it. But as a survival mechanism, they will try to downplay you unconsciously, because if they acknowledge what you go through or what you want to go through, it means they can do it too. And probably if they downplay you, it's overcompensating, okay, for support or empathy or something like that they lack to themselves. So they can't deal with themselves. So be ready, because unless your environment is extremely emotional, intelligent, and aware, and contained and empathetic, which I wish you that it is the case, but usually, unfortunately, it's not, you will get backlash, all sort of backlash. And the more you progress, the more you will get backlash. Until you are stable. It will take time, but be ready. It's okay. It's part of the process. It means you're growing. I love you, honestly. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.